Let's talk about the transfer plans of Kaizer Chiefs this coming January. And to some of you, this might come as a thing that you not want to hear, because some of your favorites and the players that you might want to come, well, they just might not come. Why is that? Well, because of money. But who are the people that we are talking about here? Well, let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Khosi KNFTV. I am Bilo. I am your host, and this is our fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. Starting with the first player, which is Kaizer Chiefs, who, as much as some of you guys were hoping that, hey, can this boy actually come back to South Africa? It turns out he will not be coming back to South Africa because, well, he's happy there. But he did reveal, first of all, in that interview in Soccer Beats that, hey, I would actually, I was very close to joining Kaizer Chiefs. But now he has also said to Soccer Latuma that, hey, Kickoff actually, if I was to come back to South Africa, Kaizer Chiefs would be my preference. So it's good but not good, because we know that eventually might come to Kaizer Chiefs, but we need solutions right now, which then makes people think, what is the biggest problem that we currently have at Kaizer Chiefs? And people have different arguments, and one of the things that they say is we need a midfielder. And in needing that midfielder, people point out, hey, we need to get this player, that player. But another name that has been getting linked with Kaizer Chiefs a lot lately is the name of Nduli. But I will say this, I will put a, what do you call it? A caveat, if you will. There hasn't been like a reliable journalism that has been done here, like from the sources who we normally hear from, who are more reliable, saying, hey, Nduli is going to Chiefs. And remember, Stellenbosch are playing in Africa and they are being competitive right now, and they are not selling their best players. So then what makes you think Chiefs will actually get Nduli? I don't think they will get him. And I'll talk about the alternative to him actually at the end of the video, but now we're just talking about the people who are linked. Now, the other player who's obviously linked to Chiefs right now is Faisal Salum, who many of you will say we need him. I read your comments, guys. I know, even when I say he's very expensive, I will find a comment that says, but Mpilo, we need him. Let's break the bank. The problem is the Betway Premiership title thingy, I think it's only 20 million rands, and Kaizer Chiefs did talk about the fact that you're not going to pay 22 million, 15 million while the league is 10 million. And we know Chiefs are not winning the league this season. I'm saying this not as a hater, but as a realist. Could be winning the league. So why would Chiefs then spend 22 million and more on a player who is still contracted for 3 more years with his team? I think that's a bit unrealistic, and I think we should just crush those expectations that Chiefs would be getting that player, because I just think it's difficult, and realistically, I get where Chiefs are coming from as a business. Now, this is not a boo party pooping a video, but it's just a factual video, because some of these videos I make them because I know already these things are floating around on the internet. So I just want to address them and point out how each move is realistic or unrealistic. And the other person that people are going to bring up, Bonganzong, we've talked about him long enough. If Chiefs wanted to sign him, they would have done it. They are not doing it. And the other player who unfortunately looks like Chiefs will end up not be signing is Osunapolis. And this is not because he's expensive or not. It's because his manager, for a lack of a better term, yeah, I'm not going to say that term because it's not good and it's not going to make me look good. But it doesn't want to sell him. That's a watered down version of what I wanted to say. Now, what are the solutions, Bilo? Because you are busy telling us the problems. Give us the solution. I'm glad you asked, because the solutions to all of these things, I will say we have brought... Wait. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I just had to stop and say that. Yeah, please. We're trying to reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Yeah. Thanks. Okay, now let's talk about the solutions that I have looked at and thought this might actually make sense. And I will say this. I also said these solutions. I'm saying these solutions based on the fact that actually Chiefs are seemingly trying to experiment with them. A player who we saw eating the bench a lot beginning of the season was Pule Modi. But ever since towards this last break, we saw that Umodi was now getting more and more minutes, and in getting those minutes, even in the friendly, we see that maybe they've come to a realization that it might be difficult to get to Velepai, might be difficult to get Apoli, so might as well just give the guy a chance, and that's exactly what they are doing. And on top of that, Upotsan is also back playing in that position as a right winger, so that means there's now more competition. But over and above that, the return of Usbong Senimteto to the starting 11 of the team means that we can now push Umdusha Balala and play him as a left winger. And I'm not forgetting about Sereno. I'm just talking in a world where we are not too dependent on Sereno, right? So there is that world where we're also saying, if we see that the guy Waga Sereno is not being played, we can play Umdusha Balala as a left winger and bring on Umushini to play as a 10. But even if we are not talking about the dependence on Sereno, if Ox comes back, and he has come back and he's been given an opportunity, what Chiefs might also do is just play him as a single 6, right? Instead of playing him with someone, it will just be him and the person that the two people in front of him, and those two people could be one Umshini and the second one could be Uapolis. And insult, not Uapolis, what am I talking about? Umshini Numtu. And we saw that experiment being done by Chiefs in the previous game that they played. So I think that Chiefs have also realized that maybe the time that they've had with the players, maybe they think they might have not given them opportunities, because Aminukaze arrived for a lack, not for a lack of a better term, but yesterday, if I'm just using hyperbole, basically, it's like he arrived and then we saw that he was trying to get that combination, and we saw him trying to get it with them playing together in the previous game. So now that makes me think they are looking at some of the solutions within the squad. And that's not the only thing that I want to talk about with regards to solutions, because the other one that I am looking at is the striker coach thing. It might be cheaper to get a striker coach compared to getting a striker, because all of the strikers who are currently being wanted by Chiefs are either expensive or we doubt them, right? Like raise hands if you know what I'm talking about, because short of Fiston Maele, the rest of the strikers that Kaizer Chiefs are being linked with, we're looking at them and we're like, perhaps. So with that being said, I then think that maybe getting a striker coach to work with what we have and see if we can improve them. And this striker coach is not obviously going to be just someone that you like, oh, get us Sean Patlet, but someone that Unabi trusts if he thinks that is useful to him. That's the first thing, because ending up just getting anyone so that we can replace Uranga is a mistake. And I know someone on the comments will write, oh, Mpilo, we've to pray. Okay, fine. I'm not against giving Utupre an opportunity. The problem that I have with Utupre is that he also misses his own fair share of chances. So I can't just pull all my eggs in one basket and say, oh yeah, Utupre will be the solver of our problems. I can also just say, oh yeah, you know what? If we play Utuba as a 9, that's going to solve our problems. It might, but there's a good chance that it doesn't, because Coach Nabi is a very good coach. He knows what he's doing, and in him knowing what he's doing, that means he's looked at Tutuba and he has seen that, okay, maybe he's much better as a winger, and that's exactly why he's playing him. So if he's not playing him as a 9, that means it doesn't see him as a 9. And if he's playing Tupre as a 9 even now, that means he sees him as a 9, but Tupre still misses chances. Same thing with Uranga, he still misses chances. So then maybe help the people that you already trust in those positions to do better by getting them a striker coach, because coaching-wise, you can already see that they are understanding more and more what their positions require from them. And since they're understanding what their positions require from them, what is the problem then? Then the problem must be the fact that they just someone to help them with their scoring. And that is why I say, just get a striker coach. And the other solution, the other thing that Chiefs must be fixing, obviously, because some people are like, just go get Chuchori February and sign him and all of those things. And I'm like, yeah, spend more money on a keeper who's going to come to Chiefs and probably feel the pressure. Because I think that some people on the internet, pretend like they are living in their own world where you've never gone into a new job and started panicking and not doing things the proper way that things are supposed to be done. And coming from TS Galaxy, a team that plays in virtually an empty stadium, with all due respect, and coming to Kaizer Chiefs that play in at least 15,000 plus each weekend. And this season, it's not even been 15,000. It's always been over 25,000 people in each stadium that Chiefs have played in. Now, how are you going to compare those things? And there's also the fact that you are new in this place. You are just starstruck. You are playing. We've heard players talking about how difficult it is to play for these big teams, especially in South Africa when we talk about Kaizer Chiefs. So I will say it again. Maybe we still need to work on the confidence of Ntwari, because thinking the solution is to go out, I disagree with that. And number two, the other thing is, even if you are not signing goalkeeper, obviously, you can still, if you see with the Ntwari things not working, Peterson, see what you can do with them. But I've already said it with these two guys, Uguti. As much as they could be good goalkeepers, the problem is they're not that comfortable on the ball. And Nabi wants to play keepers who are comfortable on the ball. So that leaves Ntwari, who was, by the way, if I might mention, a choice that was made by the coaching staff. Uguti, this is the keeper that we want. And they got him, and they're going to stick with him. And last but not least, I think that Utotli does a lot for Chiefs as a player, but I also think we need more from him as a character. You get what I'm saying? Like, Utotli is so good. There's virtually almost nothing wrong with his footballing, right? I even said that we'll be lucky if Utotli stays like 2 seasons at Chiefs, because in June, I won't be surprised if all of a sudden Utotli is signing with Braga in Portugal. I won't be surprised. However, I still feel like he's too quiet, because a lot of people in that backline blame Ntwari, which is not communicating enough. But I also feel like from the side of Utotli, because Umekweli is already vocal, we should be getting more. Also, that side got Utotli, no cross. It's players who are kind of quiet. Né? And if we can just improve the way that they're communicating, then that also just helps the team, because make no mistakes about it, Utotli is a fantastic 9 out of 10 player in most games. But if you can just be more vocal as well, that might be helpful to Cross, who's also quiet, who should also step up, but also to everyone else who's playing. So that's what I'm thinking. What are you guys thinking? Do let me know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals at Pelumoy.